We asked AI who the top 10 WWE wrestlers of all time are. Let's dive into it. All right, so Dylan, how confident are you feeling about AI's top 10 list of the greatest WWE wrestlers of all time? You think they put together a good list here?
We'll see. We will see, Mark. I think there'll probably be some slam dunks for sure that are some big home run hitters, obvious. But then there'll be some ones that are some some nose, some big nose for me.
Okay.
Couple of real Americans might couple of, might not end up making my personal top 10, but we'll see.
All right, so let's dive in. We got a couple of honorable mentions here. We'll do 3 honorable mentions. So the first one is going to be Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Honorable mention.
I honestly would have thought he would have been on AI's top 10. Um
Okay.
but no, I'm not mad at him being an honorable mention at all. So, I'm okay with that.
And then another honorable mention, we have Randy Orton.
Interesting. So this guy definitely would be on my top 10
He'd be in my top 10.
without a doubt. So, but I guess it's better than him being not mentioned at all. So,
Yeah, and then we'll do one more of an honorable mention, and that is going to be Andre the Giant.
Okay. I can see it. I mean, he's the biggest. I mean, no pun intended, but he's like the biggest attraction
Nice.
in wrestling history, right? So,
Sure.
there's absolutely an argument for him to be in the top 10 or even 5. You know what I mean? So, I think
Yeah.
depending on how the list plays out, could be depending on where you kind of land Andre.
Yeah, so there's a few other honorable mentions, but we're not going to dive into the rest of them because we're going to get started on this list. Dylan, are you ready for number 10?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, number 10 is going to be the Macho Man, Randy Savage, an incredibly charismatic and intense performer with a unique style both in the ring and on the mic. A key figure in the 80s and early 90s, known for classic matches and feud. Macho Man Randy Savage coming in at the 10th best WWE wrestler of all time.
It's interesting. So I don't like absolutely hate it, right? Like the Macho Man is incredibly up there. One of the most over, truly one of the most over gimmicks of all time. When you think about it, I mean, people still do the Macho Man voice to this day, and
Sure do.
he, yeah, and I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm okay with this now. We'll see how this kind of uh, falls out on the rest of this list. But I'm okay with Macho Man at 10 for right now. You know what I mean? Of course, main eventing WrestleMania 7 against Hulk Hogan, the clash of the Mega Powers, just parts of very, very, very iconic moments all across wrestling history. So you can't make too much of an argument to take him out of the top 10, I would say. So we'll
I,
see how it plays out. But
all right, I'm with you there. Macho Man Randy Savage coming in at number 10. Number 9, Dylan, we've got the Game, Triple H. A consistent main event performer for years, co-founder of D-Generation X, multiple-time world champion, and now a major force behind the scenes. Triple H coming in at number 9.
yeah, man. I'm definitely okay with this. Triple H has to be on this list. I think you could potentially argue Triple H to be higher on this list depending on kind of how it plays out. But there's like I said, there's a lot of guys, right? Like there is so many guys that have
Yeah.
arguments to be up there, especially when you get into guys who are a little bit like when you really dive into guys like us and the viewers of this pod who are more than just the casual wrestling fan, right? So we know a lot more about, what goes into potentially what makes these guys great and what could take away from their greatness, right? So um, that's specifically why I would say Triple H might be a little bit higher on this list for some more hardcore fans, or he might be even a little lower for that same reason. So who knows? But I think this is a fine spot for him now. He should potentially be higher, though.
All right. You have Triple H at number 9, Macho Man Randy Savage at number 10. Coming in at number 8, Dylan, is going to be the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. While much of his prime was in NWA/WCW, Flair had significant runs in WWE and is often considered the GOAT by wrestlers themselves. His charisma, promos, and record number of world championships make him an all-time legend across promotions. Ric Flair coming in at number 8 for greatest WWE wrestlers of all time.
See, that's the thing that gets
That's
us,
the
right?
key.
Is the WWE part, right?
Yes.
Because Flair had what? 2 or 3 title reigns in WWE?
I think so.
Not more than 3, I'm pretty sure. And it might have even only been 1. And yeah, man, I think he probably shouldn't be on this list. Like, as far as we're talking just WWE, and he's had a major impact on WWE, obviously, Evolution.
Oh, yeah.
But I just think we kind of loop in so much of his career, right? Like, he did 85% of his career was before he ever went to WWE.
Yeah.
So, like, and so for me to be like, Flair has to be on this list, but Orton not on this list, even though Orton's won 14 championships in WWE, or Andre even, right?
Yeah.
So this would be the first one that I'd have to knock off Flair. And
Okay.
so who were the 3 honorable mentions? Were Andre,
Roman,
Roman,
and Randy.
Randy. So I'd probably knock off Rick for Randy in this list. But you can make a case for knocking off Rick for Andre or Roman as well.
I think you can knock Rick off for Roman and put Roman at least at like the 10th spot and kind of shift everybody else up.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of thinking Roman would be 10, but
Roman's got to be top 10.
Yeah, I think 10 is a perfect spot for Roman at this point, honestly. But the thing that also gets me stuck there is then it's like Randy, dude. Randy is top 10.
Randy's also top 10.
So let's hear what they got at. What is this, number 7?
Yep, we're at number 7 here, Dylan, and that's going to be Bret the Hitman Hart, another master technician often cited as one of the greatest technical wrestlers ever, known for his realistic style, compelling storytelling in matches, and being a workhorse champion in the, quote, new generation era. Again, all these descriptions are from AI as well. Bret the Hitman Hart coming in at number 7.
Yeah, man. I think this is... I honestly feel like this is a solid spot for Bret.
Agreed.
I think this is a fair spot. Maybe Bret could potentially be 6, depending on where this list goes, but Bret's got to be in this list. And I feel like 7's a good spot for Bret, right? So you got obviously more fresh in our memory because it was the first match to kind of get inducted into the Hall of Fame. They started inducting matches this year, which I do think is a cool little aspect.
Yeah, I can't believe they haven't done that before.
Yeah, and I think it was an awesome first match to do, obviously, too, between Stone Cold and Hart at WrestleMania 13. I actually went back and watched it
Nice.
at probably shortly after they revealed that it was announced to get inducted. And one of the biggest things that I noticed people saying about it before I watched it, and that I will say again after watching it, is that match was so ahead of its time, dude. Like no dudes. Brett was Brett was doing. He was just like so damn smooth. He's almost like he makes everything look so effortless. That match is like the perfect amount of brutal, the perfect amount of like technician, and it's like that was. It's hard for people to put on a match that would be like that match happened however long ago now, over 20 years ago, right? And I mean over 25 years ago. So, and
Yeah.
if they put that match on like right now, it would still be an absolute banger match of the night. Like so,
Yeah.
like on a card that happened like at this past WrestleMania, right? Like if they put on that exact match, did everything exactly the same. And it's like so the idea of something standing the test of time like that is really, really awesome. So I think seven's a fair spot for Brett.
Fully agree with you there. So let's move on to number 6. It's the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, widely regarded as one of the best in-ring performers of all time, known as Mr. WrestleMania for his show-stealing performances on the biggest stage, incredible athleticism, and selling ability. Shawn Michaels, the 6th best WWE wrestler of all time, Dylan. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I mean, you knew he was going to be on this list, right? Sean, 6 feels low for Sean potentially. It feels like Sean should probably be top 5. Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to think of the 5 guys.
Well,
I
we'll
know
get to
4
it.
of them. Hit me with 5. Who's 5?
Coming in at number 5, Dylan, it's going to be the champ John Cena, the face of
Mm.
WWE for over a decade during the PG era. While divisive among older fans, he was incredibly popular, a merchandise machine, a tireless worker, and is known for his extensive charity work. John Cena, number 5.
I mean, way too high. Like that's correct or low or whatever. He should
Yeah,
be 1 or
top
2,
3, easily.
probably. Like 1, 2, or 3. I won't argue if you have him at 3. Anything lower than 3, I would probably be like. Once you get to 4, 5, 5 is
Yeah,
crazy.
5's crazy.
I'll give it 4. I'll be like, yeah, I disagree, but at least he's on your Rushmore. 5 is nuts. Like 17-time champ, dude. He's got the most.
17 time. He
And we're
sure
talking,
does.
and we're kind of we're getting we're getting a little bit more objective with this list too, right? You know what I mean? This is AI making this, and we're trying to judge this in an objectively kind of. And yes, Cena being 5 is crazy.
Well, you want to know who's ahead of him?
We'll see. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Coming in at number 4 is going to be The Rock.
Yeah,
Transitioned from a disliked rookie to arguably the most charismatic performer ever, a master on the microphone, a key figure in the Attitude Era, and became a global movie star, further elevating wrestling's profile. The Rock, Dylan, number 4.
yeah. The Rock above Cena is crazy, and Shawn
Yeah. Yeah.
and Brett, to be honest.
Yeah. And this is not like recent Rock hate coming out. Like this is just like
Or
facts.
you
'Cause I
could
know we
probably
always
put Rock.
crap on.
You could
on Rock.
obviously you could argue you could obviously make good arguments for him being over Brett or Shawn, and I won't fight you too hard.
Okay.
But over John is crazy. Like I still think Brett and Shawn are above The Rock, but over John, crazy, bro.
Yeah,
No,
Rock had such a shorter run than people like really realize, too.
he's just so famous,
I know.
which is just like
I know.
it just like plays a factor. But I think we give too much credit to the star power thing at this point when when it exceeds wrestling, right?
Mhm.
Because then it's not wrestling anymore. Because then we're not even talking about wrestling anymore. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, like
Yeah.
bringing more eyes to wrestling is absolutely valuable, but that doesn't make you a better wrestler. That doesn't mean you are a better wrestler. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, we'll go on. Let's see what this top three is.
All
I think
right.
I know who they are,
Yeah. I would say it's probably
but I don't know what the order is. So
so. Coming in at number 3 is going to be Hulk Hogan, the
okay,
face of WWE's
I was scared he was
expansion
going to be one at least.
in the
So like at least he's not
1980s.
one.
Hulkamania was a cultural phenomenon bringing wrestling into the mainstream. While controversial later, his impact on the business is undeniable.
Fuck you. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Recently started a wrestling promotion. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I don't pay attention to anything he does, man. Um,
I don't either. I just saw it.
no, I'm just fucking with you. No, I'm sure I'll probably hear about it along the way. Uh, yeah, dude, fuck that guy. He shouldn't even. Yeah, fuck him. I don't even want to talk
Yeah,
about him that much. Shouldn't even be on the list. But
agreed.
I'm happy he's not one. At least AI
At
knew not
least
to
he's
put him
not
one.
1 or 2. So, speaking of, let's go on to number 2, Dylan, because we've got the Dead Man, the Undertaker.
Mm.
Number 2, unmatched longevity and one of the most iconic and enduring characters in wrestling history, known for his WrestleMania streak, loyalty, and ability to evolve his gimmick over decades. The Undertaker, second greatest WWE wrestler of all time.
Yeah, I'm cool with Taker at 2.
All right. I
I think
fully
that's
agree.
fine. I think it's a solid top 2.
Yeah, and so obviously number 1, give me a hell yeah. You better watch out if he's driving his ATV around you because he's going to crash it into you. Stone Cold Steve Austin, often credited with saving WWE during the Monday Night Wars. His anti-authority character, incredible charisma, and connection with the audience defined the Attitude Era and led to massive business success. Stone Cold Steve Austin coming in at AI's number 1 greatest WWE wrestler of all time, Dylan. How do you feel about Stone Cold being number 1, and how you feel now about this list overall? Feel like AI didn't do too bad of a job.
Yeah, I actually thought AI was going to do worse, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Um, so I think you take off Hogan and you take off Ric Flair. A lot of people are going to say, "How do you take off Hogan?" Because I don't give a fuck. Because like I don't give a fuck. Because in my opinion, when you do just as much to hurt the business as you do to help it, you're negated. And
Sure.
he's done probably more to hurt it than he has to help it. And you can't convince me that that's not the case. Like I'm sorry, but it's
I
like
agree.
he helped wrestling soar. He also almost killed it so many times and held it back from soaring once again so many more times. So it's like, yeah, what did you? He helped. He was a band aid, but he ended up being a wicked, like
Still
pussy,
hanging on for dear life as
gross
long as you
infection
possibly
under
can.
the band aid. So yeah, kick off him and kick off Flair, and then you can put Orton and Roman on the list. I think 10 is a fine spot
Okay.
for Roman. I think you bump Rock to
I'd put
6.
I'd put Triple H over Rock. Call
Oh
me
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So let's say
Rock at 9?
no, I wouldn't put him at
8?
9. Yeah, I'd put him above Randy. Not like by
Even
personal preference, but it's just like
even that's close.
agreed. At this point, yeah, we'll see. People are gonna
You
hate us
want to
for
hear
it.
the other
Yeah,
honorable mentions before we
honestly,
sign off?
yeah, I would go Roman, Rock, Randy, Brett, Triple H, Shawn, Cena, Taker, Stone. Who am I missing? Fuck it. Doesn't
Um,
matter.
I think we all could agree Stone Cold, Taker, and Cena should be top 3. Put them in
Yeah,
whatever order
I
you
think
want.
that's fine. And then I would probably put Shawn at 4
Okay, I
or
can
Triple
get behind
H.
that. So there's a couple other honorable mentions in case you want to hear these real quick.
Yeah.
So some other ones I'll run through them quick. Edge was an honorable mention.
Yeah, I
I feel
think
like
he's a
he's
good
good
honorable
as an
mention.
honorable mention. Mick Foley,
I think he has a case for being in the top 10.
I think
But he's a
maybe at
great
number
honorable
10.
mention. Yeah.
I think he sits probably 10 to 12 range. You got
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I was thinking Eddie actually as well. I think Eddie is a great honorable mention
And
as well,
then
specifically because Eddie did so much work outside of WWE. Um, but then again, if he never passed, he could be one right now. So like sucks, but
yeah. Um and then you got Chris Jericho, Brock Lesnar, and Kurt Angle. Also honorable mentions.
yeah, Kurt was another one I was thinking potentially. Yeah, I think Kurt's a good honorable mention too. Of course, Kurt probably his best years were in TNA. Um, I think Brock is a fine honorable mention just because of what he's done as far as like cross platform going to the UFC. He legitimized WWE in a way, and I don't think we can take that. Like, I don't think we can. Nobody can argue that. Is essentially what I'm saying. Is that like he legitimized WWE in a way of where there's like, oh, there's like legit fucking fighters in there. You know what I mean? Like, there's like
Yeah.
it was in a way that people were like, and same with Kurt, kind of like, and people were like, oh, it's like these dudes are kind of like legit athletes, fighters. So yeah, I don't hate those honorable mentions. I think the list needed some tweaking for sure, but AI did better than I thought they were gonna.
Yeah, so you guys let us know your personal top 10 WWE wrestlers of all time in the comments down below. And with that being said, I'm Mark Izzo, he's Dylan O'Brien, and we'll catch you in the next video.